Storm Tracker 8, Richmond's most accurate forecast with Matt DiNardo.
Now on Good Morning Richmond Early Edition, a massive winter storm impacting millions across the country, stretching from New Mexico, Maine, and even right here at home, Central Virginia. Already gathering several inches of snow, while freezing rain and ice are still expected. Governor Abigail Spanberger urging Virginians to stay home.
Our preparation for what we are anticipating to be a catastrophic storm. There will be dangerous ice accumulation. We know that the impact of this storm will be tremendous.
A federal emergency declaration in place, meaning more relief efforts are on the way. This morning, we've got everything you need to know about this ongoing winter storm.
Live, taking action. Good Morning Richmond starts now.
A sweeping winter storm is moving across the nation this morning. You're looking at our weather drone from last night. Central Virginia already feeling the impacts of the weather. This morning, communities are getting ready for what's ahead. Good morning. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Richmond Early Edition on this Viper Alert Day. I'm Mariah Jallad. 8 News is bringing you team coverage this morning. We have the latest on the snowfall, sleet, and freezing rain impacting our area. 8 News reporter Jamal Williams will have more on that in just a bit. Storm Tracker 8 meteorologist Madison Olms is in the Weather Center tracking our forecast. But first, we want to get a live look at what we're seeing right now with meteorologist Jessica Kirk. Good morning, Jess.
Hey, Mariah. Yeah, guys, first of all, it is absolutely freezing out here, so don't do the whole no gloves thing like I am. Right now, it looks like we have finished the transition from the snow to the sleet. And I don't know if you can actually hear the sleet that's falling. I can hear it out when I'm inside on the roof, and I can hear it out here pinging against my jacket. Sleet pings, the freezing rain clings. That's what we're worried about as we go into the rest of this day. So what you guys see on the ground here, this snow, this is it. This is as much as we're going to see. And the sleet is adding to the snowfall totals, kind of compressing it a little bit. So if you're heading out the door right now, that snow that you see on the ground, we are done with the snow. And now we're looking at this sleet eventually transitioning into freezing rain. And it looks like meteorologist Madison Olms in studio right now has the latest on where we can find those transitions and what we can expect for the rest of the day. Madison?
Yes, Jessica, thank you for showing us that live look outside. This is our Viper satellite and radar over the past 6 hours, and we can see this storm is not just affecting us here, but millions of Americans across the United States. But right now, over these last 6 hours, we're starting to see a lot of that blue, but a little bit of pink make its way into Central Virginia. Now, the big kicker here is when we have different types of frozen precipitation, it all shows up as blue on most of our radars, but we do have a different one here to show you. And this is where we can tell what might be freezing rain, what might be sleet, what might be snow. So we're breaking this down just a little bit more. A lot of these yellow and orangey colors that we're seeing, especially for folks north of Metro Richmond, closer to Fredericksburg, even out in Charlottesville, that's going to be that mixture of snow and majority sleet. And like Jessica said, it's more of a pellety type texture, and it pings off of what it's falling on. And us here in Metro Richmond, we're still starting to see a little bit of that darker color transitioning from that sleet and then eventually to freezing rain, which is what this lighter and brighter pink is that we're seeing closer to the Tri-Cities from many folks in Dinwiddie County, even portions of Sussex County this morning. So as we're continuing to break this down just a bit more, we're seeing these really dark spots here in Metro Richmond. That is still that snow that is finishing off for the morning, but then we start to see these brighter spots of pinks, especially in Bensley Village, Chesterfield, even Brander Mill. That's where we're starting to see that sleet take over and then eventually transition into freezing rain. And like Jessica said, freezing rain clings. It is falling from the high up portions in the atmosphere, start to snow, but then it continues to melt in a warm layer in our atmosphere, and it just keeps falling as a raindrop. But our surfaces right now are so cold outside, well below freezing, that it is starting to freeze to those surfaces instantly, and that's where we're going to start to see that ice accumulation come into play. Now for folks just a little bit north of Metro Richmond, we're still seeing a lot of those oranges and brighter reds out there, Bowling Green, and even in Fredericksburg, Louisa, Palmyra. That's where we're seeing the majority of our precipitation as sleet this morning, and even closer out to the peninsulas in Essex County, close to Tappahannock, we're seeing that sleet finally move out of the way, finishing off with just a brief snow transition before we see more freezing rain, which is that brighter pink that is making its way into the area. Now, like I mentioned, we're going to be seeing ice accumulation from this freezing rain, and throughout the remainder of our Sunday, those ice totals are only going to go up. Here in Metro Richmond, we could be seeing up to ½ an inch of ice accumulation, and that's the case for most of central Virginia. Some folks, it's not out of the question that you could maybe see up to 3/4 of an inch of ice accumulation, especially for you folks down close to the Tri-Cities. This could cause very significant impacts for many of us. Just a 1/4 inch of ice accumulation is going to bring us scattered utility interruptions, but those higher ice accumulations, even closer to ½ an inch, is when we really start to see those widespread power outages that can oftentimes last for days. Mariah?
Thanks, Madison. As the extreme winter weather continues to fall, we're giving you live updates on what's going on in your area. 8 News reporter Jamal Williams is live in Chesterfield. So, Jamal, what's it look like out there?
Well, Mariah, there's still no ice out here, which is the good news, but there's plenty of snow around me and on the ground as we speak. I want you guys to take a look right now. I'm going to pick up some of this snow right now. It's actually still so slushy and still kind of wet that you can't even make a snowball right now. It's still pretty soft. Yeah, and pretty much evaporating into my hands right now. Like I said, there is no ice right now, but we do expect freezing rain to come as soon as possible. And when it does hit that ground, it will turn into ice. And like Jessica and Madison said, that can make for a lot of dangerous movement out there. So the Virginia Department of Transportation is still urging a lot of residents out there to stay indoors. But if you do have to go outside, please adhere and move to the right of way for emergency vehicles as well as snow plows as well that are going into the area as well. And also make sure that if you do plan to go outside, make sure you use your headlights to make sure your vision is clear as possible, and to make sure you have emergency kit on you, which will have some gloves, which will have some things to clean up your windshield wipers, as well as making sure that you have an emergency kit for bandages, flashlights, and anything else you might need out there. We're going to keep you updated on air and live as we continue to learn more. But for now, I'm live in Chesterfield. Jamal Williams, 8 News. Back to you, Mariah.
All right, Jamal, thanks. And we will be checking back in a bit. In the wake of this winter storm, power outages are a big concern for the coming days. Right now, you're taking a look at Dominion Energy's outage map. The company is reporting over 200 outages across the Commonwealth. We'll keep an eye on this for you through the week. And these outages coming after Governor Abigail Spanberger warned Central Virginians that this weather we're seeing could have an impact on your power at home.
The state is also coordinating with our energy providers to make sure that we are in constant communication to ensure the ability to react to downed power lines and provide assistance.
If you haven't already, Dominion recommends you to fully charge your devices and stay away from any downed power lines. You can report an outage on the Dominion app or on its website. And as we continue to bring you the latest on this winter storm, we want to remind you about all of the school and church closures happening today and extending throughout the week. If you'd like to report a closing or take a look at the full list, head to this article on our website, WRIC.com. Still ahead this morning, if your home does get hit by a power outage during this storm, we have tips on how you can stay safe while using your generator.
It is very, very cold out there this morning, and we're still experiencing that winter precipitation. Many folks are seeing that sleet and eventually freezing rain come later today. Don't go anywhere. The Storm Tracker 8 team and myself will continue to track the storm in just a moment.